Welcome into the DNVR Rockies podcast. I am your host, Suzie Hunter. I am joined by AJ Hayfully. Did I say that right?
You did.
I never say your last name.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, did I?
Uh-huh. You got it. Nailed it.
Hi.
It was perfect.
AJ, welcome
perfect.
back to the Rockies podcast.
Thank you.
And your season is just getting started up. I know we've got Avs a preseason game going on now, but you've taken the time to be on this season finale show.
I always try and sneak onto Rockies shows when you guys will let me, so.
Well, we appreciate it. We love your takes. We love it. All right, we got some baseball to break down. We have the Twins series. The Rockies lost the series, but Sunday, today, the day that we're recording this, an electric extra innings game. We should note that this is probably the longest the Rockies have played into October.
Nice.
11 innings on October
Nice.
1st.
I'm into this take.
Yes. No.
We had a Rocktober.
We had a Rocktober, and it was glorious. No, it was really exciting. We saw some really big milestones for a couple of guys, for an older player, for a younger player. Ooh, we got like a little bit of everything. Little bit of everything.
All we need is Rolexes.
All we need is someone got a Rolex, that's for sure. AJ, real fast before we like really get into the nitty gritty of the series and what went well and what didn't go well, we are looking at our first ever 103 loss Rockies team. You've been following the Rockies for a very long time.
I was at their first ever game.
You were at their first ever game, and now here we are coming off of their first ever 103 loss season. What are your thoughts on how this all went?
It's funny because, I mean, I guess it's not like haha funny, but funny, you know, the world is a funny place funny. Because I really, like, yeah, they lost 100 games, and that sucks that they've now gotten to that point. It's not going to matter to the Munford, so all the people who have been like, I hope they lose 100 forever, so he'll sell the like, he doesn't care. So, you know, like, it's not going to move that needle at all. There's still 45,000 people there every day, whatever.
I
So,
mean,
like, you know,
I won't say every day we don't see 45,000 people,
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
the Rockies did see better attendance this season than
103 losses.
Right. All right. Hey, guys, if you're watching us live on YouTube, we are finally back. We had to switch studios. The power went out. I think there's a ghost in the studio.
Yeah, it's one thing for the power to go out, but then when we're all sitting there for one of like the big signs to fall off the wall immediately behind us, when there's nobody over there, made everybody a little on edge, a little leery. So we came upstairs.
I'm still a little on edge too, because obviously I grabbed my show beer. It's a Broncos Country Pale Ale, $6 a pint. But the crazy thing is, my total came out to 666.
Number
So
of
I
the
was
beast.
like, okay, that's a bad sign. And then all this happened. Studio's haunted. So this is my resignation.
Yeah, it's either that or you did this.
No, I didn't do it. It's a thing that's happening to me. Guys, this season also happened to me. This happened to you and I. 103 losses. I think that's where we left off when we parted ways with you guys briefly. But yeah, 103 losses. Was I on a... I feel like one of us was cooking when this show paused.
I
don't remember.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. That'll do it. No, 103 losses. 2 of them came this weekend, Friday and Saturday, both. We saw some Rockies losses. James says lost you again. No, that can't be true. Refresh that page. I'll say that in the comments. Refresh
Hit
that.
F5, James.
F5 that bitch.
There we go. Back again.
There we go. All right, good. Thank you guys so much. Thank you everyone who's also in the comments right now. Thank you everyone who has followed along all season. Of course, this has had its ups, its downs, mostly downs, but we've had some really good ups. We've had some good ups.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for 100-loss team, there are way more like bright spots. Like, look at where the Rockies are versus like the White Sox or the A's. You know, like now, oh hey, those might be the two worst franchises in baseball right now. But like,
don't forget the Royals.
Well,
who are also like in that bottom 3 with us and the A's.
With Bobby Witt Jr., I'm like, they've got a bright spot too that they can get into. So I'm giving that to them.
That is,
but that's where the Rockies are. They have like they have like a bright spot that you could point to and be like, yeah, but
yes,
but a 21-year-old Ezekiel Tovar was a pretty good player this year.
You know what? Ezekiel Tovar, an incredible talent. We have so many incredible young talents. We'll get into those too in a little bit. I do want to address a couple of pieces of Rockies news because we found out on Friday in the first inning of the game, by the way, Charlie Blackmon extended for another year. He will be back in 2024. Wow, you're making a face right now, AJ. What's this face? What is this face? Tell me what's on your heart.
I mean, I love Charlie, right? And all the respect in the world. He played his 1500th game today, which was cool.
He did play his 1500th game today.
I love Charlie. How do you not? He plays the game the right way. He's the ultimate good guy. Great story. A great win for the organization and
also like the hardest worker in that clubhouse. I mean, everyone works really hard, but like he is just always on a grind that I see as unsustainable, yet he does it.
Yeah, he's like 16 years into that thing.
It's like nothing.
Okay, so.
Well, also, he has some really great relationships with these young players that we've gotten to see really blossom this season. So, I mean, I think it's a good thing. You have to keep some veterans around. You need an adult in the room.
You definitely do.
They need role models. They're still kids. Many of them do not have fully formed frontal lobes yet. They need strong male role models.
Too many soft spots.
Too many soft spots. Like they're literally babies. What else do we have going on in the world of the Rockies? And extra innings means it's the deepest the Rockies have played into October. Let's recap Friday's game. We mentioned Friday. That was when we got that big announcement. The 5th inning of Friday's game, Brendan Rodgers, leadoff homer. This is when we kind of thought things maybe could turn around for the Rockies. But
it was fun for a little while.
The bad way, though.
Yeah.
Back-to-back homers in the top of the 7th. We had 19th steal on Friday, so that was really exciting. Nolan Jones, by the way, congratulations. He had a 2020-19 season.
A classic.
But he got an Eagles win today.
Good for him.
Good for him. Good for me.
I was gonna say, good for y'all.
Good for y'all. I'm fine. But I couldn't get the win against the Twins, the postseason bound Twins, by the way. But what else do we have going on?
What's the lowest number of wins a team has had and still won a division?
Oh, good question.
Because I wonder where the 87 win Twins are, like on that list of like it's not like a bad season, obviously.
That's not a bad season, but that's not a great season.
It's like if you're like the Rockies, for example, and you're like, oh, we want to try and win a division. You're like, oh, well, we have to win 105 games.
Yeah.
Like
actually, the Rockies would have had to have won that many games. The Twins. Okay, so
I'm just curious.
How many games did the Twins won? 87 games, and they won their division. Yeah, that's got to be.
It's got to be on the lower end.
This season, it's definitely the lower one.
Yeah, I just wonder, like historically, how many 87 win teams win a division where it strike me as great.
You know what? I was kind of surprised too that the Twins were in this postseason hullabaloo.
Yeah.
Who were they up against, though?
Toronto?
Well, no, I was going to say, no, I mean, like, during the season. I'm looking at, like, the rest of the AL Central. I mean, you've got, like, the next team. Like, they're the only team in the AL East, in their division, that's even above 500.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Hilarious.
What's that like?
What's that like? Could you imagine being, like, barely above 500 and you get to win your division? I mean, we're clawing tooth and nail.
It's depressing.
I-Rod in the chat. We must have you must be from New Mexico, right? 505. A good way to end the season. It was a rough season to watch. The highlight for me was going to the Yankees series and seeing them win that series in the only way the Rockies can. See you next season. I will remind you, we still do podcasts in the off season. Okay, guys, like you don't have to say see you next season. See us this off season.
5 days a week.
5 days a week. It's a lot of days a week.
It is a lot.
It's a lot of days a week.
During the postseason, it's a little easier because you can at least talk about.
Yeah,
like,
we still have
there's
more
still
baseball.
baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're like looking out the window to everyone else playing.
That's the life of a Rockies fan. Your
Yeah.
face is always pressed against the glass,
Us and
looking at other people having fun.
us and the Cubs fans and the White Sox fans. Will in the chat answered your question. The Padres in 2005 were 82 and 80.
God, that's not great.
That's embarrassing. Would you rather be a Rockies fan or a Padres fan right now?
A Rockies fan.
I will not get over Josh Hader refusing to pitch. That is the worst thing. We should be more up in arms. Did you hear that story?
I didn't.
So it was like the 8th inning of a game, and he refused to go out because they weren't in a playoff hunt.
Look, we all need to set boundaries in our lives, right?
Okay, it's his job. That'd be like Brandon Spano saying to me, like, Susie, go do your show. And I'm like, no.
They had 102 losses.
No.
I won't do it. Yeah, where's Patrick today? Is that what he did?
That's what he did. He's saying no.
Exactly. He pulled a Josh Hader.
He pulled a Josh Hader and he's refusing to close out the season. Listen, our season has just started winding down. Football season picking up, and at Bet365, they're not doing ordinary. Every sport should be absolutely epic, so you can see for yourself when you sign up today, and you're going to get $365 in bonus bets when you bet just $1. And the really cool thing about Bet365 is that we have DNVR custom bets in there, so you can keep an eye out. Each week you're going to see the DNVR Bets logo. I love that we have this partnership with Bet365. But yeah, you can ride with DNVR and place the same bets we are placing.
I won money on it last week.
Did you really?
I did.
What was the bet last week?
It was the Broncos to score
Go.
both pretty low bars. So
Pretty low bars.
felt
but,
like easy money, so I took it.
You know what? Easy money is the best kind of money. So download the app, deposit $10, and claim your $365 in bonus bets as soon as you place a bet for just $1. So download the Bet365 app. Use code DNVR365 when you sign up. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. So yeah. Oh, they got some good boosts and stuff going on too. Ooh.
Every week.
NFL Sunday, get $10 in bonus bets when you bet $20 or more on same game parlays of any Sunday NFL game. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what it is. That's the deal, including Monday Night Football.
Yeah, they're great. I've used them the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I love that. So fun. Yeah. All right.
It's
Bet365.
literally free money. So
Bet365. They really are giving you free money. Again, download the app. And use code DNVR365 when you sign up. And listen, if you're going to be betting on all the games, you got to watch all the games too. And the best way to do that is Fubo TV, 140 plus live channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. Plus, it is the best way, the cheapest way to get the most Colorado teams on your TV. And not even just your TV. You can stream on the go on any of your devices too.
it's literally on my phone.
You're
Yeah.
doing that right now.
It's literally
Doing
on
that
my phone right
yes,
now.
of course, because you've got the abs going on. I love that you're pulling double duty. You're a superhero. But yeah, Fubo TV. Even if you're missing some of this, you're getting 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge. You can watch your local teams while you're traveling, and you're getting college football. You're getting NFL. You are getting the Ryder Cup. You are getting all these incredible events. So watch all of your favorite college football and NFL games with Fubo. Go to www.FuboTV.com/DNVR, and they're going to slash off 15% of your first month of Fubo Pro. Again, that's FuboTV.com/DNVR. Whew, there we go. All right, let's talk about Saturday's loss, too. Saturday's a brutal one. 14-5. 14-5 got absolutely rocked. And for a while, it was 14-0 up until the 7th. It was a lot of questions. But yeah, the third inning, we had Carl Kaufman on the mound. He loaded the bases on a ground rule double, a hit by pitch, and then a walk, and then Larnack of the Twins hits a grand slam.
Was that hit by pitch? Was that Solano? Was that the one that like touched his elbow ever so slightly?
I don't remember now. There have been a bunch of hit by pitches this weekend.
It was like a 6th grade homecoming level of touching.
What?
Like, you know, where it was like very shy and just like
when you're dancing, like you have to like
exactly. That's exactly what kind of hit by pitch that was. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's great. That's beautiful. But you know what? But it counted.
It did. It hit him. Like it. They showed it on the. It was very funny though.
Yeah, it was a little brutal. So that brought that grand slam in the third, made it 6-0 Twins, and then in the 6th inning, the Twins went and scored another 5 runs.
Because they needed them, I guess.
Because they really needed them. Obviously, they got the win. But yeah, in the 7th inning, we had, oh my gosh, 2 home runs. Wallner leadoff homer, a Julian 2-run homer. But then, okay, this was so fun. The bottom of the 7th, Elihuris Montero hit a home run to finally get the Rockies on the board. And then Sean Bouchard got a home run. He's had 4 home runs in 5 days. Mm-hmm. Didn't even have his first home run of the season until 5 days ago.
I think they said 4 home runs and 14 at-bats.
Yeah.
After today.
Because he wasn't starting either. Like, I mean, today especially, like, he came in off the bench. Wild. But it's the second time this homestand that Montero and Bouchard hit back-to-back homers, which is so fun. So then after that, the Twins were like, you know who we should bring in to pitch? Dallas Keuchel. Dallas Keuchel, who I didn't even know was still pitching. I didn't know he was on a team this season until he came out at the ballpark that I'm working at.
Yeah, I had the same reaction. I was not aware that he was still employed.
I knew he got let go. Was it the White Sox?
Yeah.
That DFA'd him? Yeah, and then he's back. He's with the Twins. He didn't do a good job. He was walking a lot of guys.
It was obvious why he was on the outs.
He's on a playoff-bound team, though.
Yeah, joke's on us.
Joke's on us. So, yeah, he gave up a walk and then a homer and then a 2-out double. And then in the 8th in the bottom, Keuchel was still there, by the way. He loaded the bases. Montero walked, Bouchard doubled. Like, the two of them back-to-back. They were very productive this back-to-back. And though they were the guys this series.
It was a fun part of the lineup.
They were
for 3 days.
They were so fun and like such a pleasant surprise too. Doyle had an RBI single that brought it to 14-5. And then it ended up being a wild pitch during Brendan Rodgers at bat made it 14-6. That was where we left it last night. What a Saturday!
It's a good football score.
A good football score. Didn't outscore the Broncos, but a real concern sometimes.
Yeah. Last year we had will the Avs outscore the Broncos contest of like will they? And they did not, but it was closer than it should have been.
It's always closer than it should have been. Let's talk about Sunday. Did you get a chance to watch all of Sunday's 11 innings? All 11 innings?
You know, kind of. I missed the bottom of the 11th because I was on the highway driving here. So when I got here, I had to go back and watch it. It was delightful.
Super fun.
It was a good baseball game.
It was a surprise bullpen game because Chase Anderson was supposed to start.
Yeah.
Last minute scratch. He has a blister.
Ouch.
But he was very bummed. He really wanted to make that last start, especially coming off of his first pitcher win of the season, which also comes down to just a lot of bad luck and not getting run support when he did have really good outings.
His last 3 starts were great. His like first 5 starts were great.
His first 5 starts were great. His last 3 starts were great. Chase Anderson. What a random pickup he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
A random dude. But yeah, he did not start. Technically, Brent Suter started. He went out in the first inning through 10 pitches.
It was very quick.
It was so fast. Literally 2 minutes.
I was surprised he didn't, the second inning. I was surprised that he didn't, because I was like, he was out there for 5 seconds. Like,
Literally 5. Like, probably he was out there for a minute and a half.
yeah, it was like, it's game 162. You have no tomorrow. What's the issue here? What if you go extra innings, LOL? You know, like
LOL. Could you imagine going extra innings on the last game of the season?
I mean, I'm totally meaningless game for both teams.
Like, actually totally meaningless for both teams. But really cool milestone for Charlie Blackmon. It was his 1,500th game. So cool to end the season on a nice round number. But super rare, though. Only 76 guys, including Charlie Blackmon now, have hit that 1,500 game milestone playing for just one team.
When you consider, I mean, there's been how many thousands of players that have played in Major League Baseball to hit that milestone with one organization. It's very cool.
Very cool, very rare. So congratulations, Charlie. Just gave us so many milestones this season. So yeah, Brent Suter out for the first. Connor Siebold came on for the second. He gave up 4 hits. They were all singles, but 2 runs scored on that.
Yeah, and that first hit that Siebold gave up, the one that's just like, it's a total jam shot and goes through the third base side, and you're like, God, is it going to be one of these games? Like,
and you know what? I was kind of worried that it was going to be a game like that, and it really wasn't, because those are the only 2 runs the Twins scored the whole game. That second inning right there.
It stopped after that, but it did have, because when it starts to happen early in Coors Field, you're like, oh God, this is going to be a 4-hour game. It's going to lose. And it didn't.
No. And you know what? All those bullpen haters.
Lose. And it didn't.
No. And you know what? All those bullpen haters. This was a whole bullpen game where no one gave up runs except for Connor Siebold. Those bullpen haters were real quiet today. Real quiet. Did you just push your glasses up with your microphone?
I did.
You were such a podcast guy.
Sorry. I don't know what that means.
That was hilarious. That was so funny. Let's talk about the 4th inning, because that was when the Rockies got on the board. It was the first hit of the game. It was a Nolan Jones solo home run. That was number 20 for him.
It was a rocket.
That it really was.
He got his money's worth.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And also, it was really exciting too, because that was like the one piece that we were waiting for. We're like, okay, he's got the 20th home run. Is he going to get the 20th steal?
Yeah.
And he's so speedy. Of course he got that steal later on.
Yeah.
But it was
Barely.
great.
But got it. It counted. His 20th home run was a lot more emphatic than his 20th steal.
I don't know. There's a picture that the Rockies posted a like graphic congratulating him on 2020, and there's a picture of him after he stole the base, and like his leg is like sprawled out touching the base, and like he's got this big smile on his face.
It was very cute.
He threw his arms up in the air too. Like he was so excited for the 20th steal.
Well, the slide, the swim move.
Yeah.
Like he totally works a guy that should not be playing second base. That looked like he'd never applied a tag before. He still hasn't touched him. Still hasn't. So
Nolan Jones is still out there, and he's still safe.
And they're on a plane back to Minnesota now, so he's never going to. He'll never get that tag in.
I love it. That's a good bit. The 6th inning, we had Brent Doyle had a bunt single and a throwing error from their third baseman. He got all the way to second, so it like really looked like a bunt double at first. It was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me.
Yeah.
Brent Doyle's another guy who is just so fast.
He's so fast.
So fast.
It's a joy to watch him run.
It really is. It really got a Sean Bouchard pinch hit homer. The Rockies haven't had a pinch hit home run since San Francisco in 2022 on June 7th. So, like, it's been more than a year since the Rockies had a pinch hitter hit a home run.
I like just the last game of the season, in like the dying innings of the last game of the season, they finally get their first pinch hit home run.
Yes, it was kind of like a...
You just know next year it'll be like the 6th inning or something, and whoever it is will have a pinch hit home run in that game, in the first game, and it'll just be like, well, in 2 games in a row, they're hot.
It's kind of like, you know what it reminds me of when it's like the end of the school year and you have like some assignments that you haven't turned in yet. So you're just like scrambling to get them all done before the last day of school. That's what like this game reminded me of.
I just didn't turn those in. I was that guy.
Depends on the assignment. That's
true.
But yeah, in the 9th inning, Nolan Jones got that 20th stolen base. He is the first rookie to do that for the Rockies.
It's very cool.
Huge news. A great development, a great sign. We're also excited about Nolan Jones. And we have thoughts from Nolan Jones that we'll share probably on Tuesday's show. We'll save that. We'll save it.
I'll be watching.
Thank you.
I want to know what he says.
I don't know what he says. Oh, wait, I was there.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, no, I'll just plug for Tuesday. Tuesday, we'll have conversations with Nolan Jones and with Sean Bouchard, who will be playing in Hermosillo in the Winter League this summer.
That'll be cool.
Winter. It's winter.
I did the same thing earlier.
I just said Winter League, and then I called it the summer. No, but he'll be down there because he missed most of the season with that torn bicep.
Mm-hmm.
One of them. Injured at work. Injured at work, man. Happens to the best of us. But when it happens to you, you got to call Backus and Shanker.
So ridiculous.
Love that I live rent free in all y'all's heads. But when you get hurt, Backus and Shanker is here to help because they win for Colorado families. Backus and Shanker has been helping those who are seriously injured in Colorado for more than 25 years. And it's totally free until they win money in your case. There is no upfront fee to talk to someone about your case. No fee even while they work on it. You're not going to pay a dime until you get all of your dimes. They have won more than $1 billion for their clients here in Colorado. And they've got the strength and power to win your case, too, with more than 30 lawyers and more than 100 staff. Backus and Shanker helps with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycles, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks. They can even help if you're injured at work. But call them at 222-2222. All Tulos, all day. The king of hurt at work. Find out if you have a case for free because Backus and Shanker wins. Did you like that?
Oh, that's good.
Thank you. I do what I can. And you know who does the most? Foco does the most. Foco, they're the leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merch. They've got apparel. They've got the overalls. Mm-hmm. They've got accessories. They've got bobbleheads. We have so many of their bobbleheads in this studio. You know what they have now? They started making friendship bracelets. The intersection of Swifties and sports is just like crashing.
I have one on my desk.
You have a Foco friendship bracelet?
I have a friendship bracelet.
Or just a friendship bracelet. Mm-hmm. Well, Foco makes... friendship bracelets are really hard to make. I know that after doing the whole process ahead of the Taylor Swift tour. They have pre-made ones. I'm trying to get my hands on one of them. I might, but I think those are fun. Foco makes for great gifts too. I know we're heading into the holiday season, so if you can get stuff for yourself, you can get all the Broncos gear, all the Avs gear. They've got Rockies gear. They also have stuff for all different teams all over the country too. So, not just Colorado.
I have some Foco things hanging around my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
It's just such a wide array of like stuff that you can get.
They have everything. Well, they've got like the crazy stuff. Like, I mean, I wore the Broncos overalls on the show last week. So like those are like definitely a statement piece, but they also have very normal stuff too. Like I have a very normal Rockies shirt that is super cute. I wear it all the time.
A very normal Rockies.
It's a very normal Rockies shirt. It's just like to the point. It's black. It's a tank. It's got like this nice open back. It's got the logo. But yeah, it's officially licensed stuff, you guys. We love Foco. Foco always has our back with Colorado sports. They have yours too. Get the best gear around by using the link in our description and use code DNVR to get 10% off all non-pre-sale items. Again, check that link in the description of this podcast. Use code DNVR, get 10% off. That's the Foco way. All right, let's talk about the Colorado Rockies. We mentioned Charlie Blackmon was extended. And what else do we have going on? And we have Nolan Jones hitting 2020. That was so fun.
I really wanted him to find a way to get that 20th outfield assist. I was really pulling for it.
You know, he didn't even play a full season up here, though. I mean, he wasn't here until the end of May, really. So
He was awesome.
very impressive.
Yeah.
If he had just one more game, man. Just one more game.
I can't believe after he got to 10, people were still trying to run on him. I didn't understand. I'm like, I don't know how many times I tweeted it out this season, but like,
Imagine running on Nolan Jones.
like your pre-scout of the Rockies has so little that you actually have to pay serious attention to. And people were still running on Brenton Doyle and Nolan Jones. Like, what are you doing?
What are you even doing?
The assist today, you can understand. Like, that's a double in every park 99% of the time.
He's a blessing, man.
Yeah, like that was a special play from Nolan Jones. So I get that one a lot more than some of the others we've seen. But still, it's like, with that guy, you're really going to take you're just like, oh, I dare you to throw me out. Like, he will.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We didn't even talk about how this crazy game ended today.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How could we even like miss that? It went into, first of all, I could not believe this game went into extras. Cannot believe it. But Nolan Jones was the ghost runner on second. He steals third. And then Jordan
Is he the one
Luplow.
haunting the bar today?
Maybe. The ghost of Brenton Doyle as the runner is haunting the bar
He's
right now.
so fast. He got in here and he knocked all the shit out and then left again.
It wasn't even a ghost, it was just him.
It was just him, a human being.
That's how fast he is.
That's amazing. Maybe. We can't confirm, can't deny. But Brenton Doyle stole third base, and then Jordan Luplow was the guy the Twins put out to pitch the 11th inning. Obviously, they were just like, fuck it, we have to get out of here.
Yeah, Toronto's going to beat them to Minnesota. They're going to be in Minneapolis before the Twins are because they had to play this game.
Probably. That's actually very possible.
Yeah.
That is extremely possible. But yeah, the Twins had no choice but to put a position player out. They were out of pitchers, and they need to be ready for, the next chapter of their season, for games that will count for them.
Not sure that guy's going to be making any postseason appearances on the mound.
No, Jordan Luplow was just like, do you think like maybe he was like, I'm just going to throw this wherever. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Do you think he said, fuck it, we ball?
I'm good with it. I like this theory.
I mean, I'm good with it too. But yeah, when I saw Jordan Luplow heading out to the mound for one last position player pitching, mwah, chef's kiss. So chaotic.
A great way to end a season.
Great way to end a season. Yeah, and I mean, of course, ending a season with a really exciting win too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we saw a historic number of losses, but that's so good for morale. Like, these guys were in a much better mood than they would have been otherwise, packing up and leaving.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nothing.
It's not nothing. It's not nothing.
What is it? I guess is to be determined, but it doesn't feel like nothing. And it was, I don't know. I had fun with it, so I imagine everybody else did too.
I had a fun season, man.
I'm very Grinch-like in how much fun I have, so if I enjoyed it, like I just think everybody else probably should have too.
Oh my gosh. We got some Grinches in the comments. I know that for sure. No, I mean, on YouTube here, the live comments coming in, they're all very positive. James, when do you call, or who do you call when Suzie sings her Backus and Shanker tune too many times for one of her coworkers? I have the voice of an angel, James. Okay.
For the record, I'm not the only one who hears it in my head when that read gets done. I know that for a fact. I have had conversations about it. Because one day we were talking about it and I just said, God damn it, Suzie. It's stuck in my head now.
Someone send this to them because that is the mark of a good jingle right there. Something that's stuck in your head.
Exactly. That's literally how I got car insurance. It's because I was like, I don't know what to do here. Oh, I'm just going to get Geico because it's the first one that I can think of.
Right at the top of your head.
Advertising works.
I thought you were going to say you went with the General because they have such a catchy jingle.
No.
Go to the General, save some time.
No, I went with Geico because they have 6 different mascots and they're all fun. So
they do have so many mascots. my gosh. Let's see. We got Will in the chat. Will also has been fact checking for us. He is the shout out to Will because he looked up that the Padres were 82 and 80 in 2005. Will in the chat. Nolan Jones is the first outfielder since 1927 with 19 or more assists in less than 100 starts. That's pretty freaking cool.
Bet
Nolan
teams don't
Jones.
run on him next year.
They would be stupid to run on him. Imagine running on Nolan Jones.
So the Padres will still run on him.
They will, because they do everything they do everything wrong.
Because they're stupid.
They do everything wrong. All right. Do we have any other comments in here that we need to get to? Can you? Oh wait, I can scroll up. I have YouTube.
You have the power.
I have YouTube. Nathan accredited our power outage to energy being pulled away from Denver to supply power to MetLife.
Mm-hmm.
Out in East Rutherford, New Jersey, with Taylor Swift.
I hope she destroys the Chiefs the way she destroyed America so much.
Wait, what? Who destroyed? What?
What do you
How
mean?
did? What are you talking about? How did Taylor Swift destroy America? She literally has boosted economies every place
Somebody
she's
is
had a tour.
super dramatic.
She destroyed everything that anybody loved.
I'm pretty sure she didn't destroy
Taylor
any food
Swift sound
banks
like
when
a
she
warlord.
donated money to all those food banks. You're just such a hater. No one listen to Yaya. Like he's not even like invited onto this show right now. We didn't. Yaya, please only speak when spoken to.
Wow.
I hope she gets destroyed.
She's not. Taylor Swift is too powerful.
Yeah. Travis Kelce doesn't stand a chance in that relationship.
The bigger you are, the harder you fall.
No.
That scandal is going to be so crazy. It's going to be worldwide.
There's
I'm
no
gonna enjoy it. And I'm
stop
gonna
it.
enjoy it so much.
T
Stop
Swift
it.
doesn't do scandal. She just does bangers. Okay?
She
She
has.
takes whatever scandal she would be involved in and she turns them into albums that we all love.
They said the same thing about Bill Clinton in the 90s. Look at him now.
No, we did
Okay,
not.
but he's a politician.
Yeah.
Every single politician is a crook.
We did not say that about Bill Clinton in the 90s. I lived through those. I remember
Also,
the 90s.
you weren't alive in the 90s. Get the hell out of
I
here.
was alive in the 90s.
How old were you in the 90s?
I was born in 96. So I'm in-
You don't even remember Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Everyone knew he was a hornball. Everyone.
I was going to say another name that I'll bring up after the pod. That's just funny when you brought it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, these are your worst
This
takes
is
ever.
Such hater vibes coming out of you right now.
I hope she destroys the Chiefs just like she destroyed everybody else.
Truly your worst
They love
take.
it, though.
You had me in the first half. I mean, I'm down with the downfall of the Chiefs. That part sounds fun.
Oh, we love the downfall of the Chiefs. I'm rooting for it.
Dude, we can bond over this.
We can finally.
Hatred
finally.
of the Chiefs.
We can.
We don't have to be at war all the time.
Yeah, where are we at time in terms of how long is this show right now? I can't tell because I know we started around 6, but then like we weren't
We're
on.
35 here plus 5 downstairs. We're about 40.
Oh, okay, so we're making some great time. Let's get into some of the comments that we got on Twitter too. I mean, and also if you're in the YouTube, if you're watching us live, if you have questions, if you have complaints, just like throw them in there.
If you have complaints about me, you can save them.
If you have complaints about me, you can also shove them.
I tweeted out Taylor Swift is going to destroy the Chiefs like she destroyed America, by the way. So you can throw
Yeah,
it
can
there, too.
can you focus on your job, please, and pull up some of the tweets that I sent you to put in our show? No, not really. You can't do that. Okay, so this is about the attendance. I see we're going out of order, Yaya. So inventive of you.
I did it. I had to redo them all again because the computer went out. If you don't remember.
I'm giving you such a hard time. Oh, now I can actually. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, is that better?
There we go. All right, Jackson Esplin in our Twitter reply said, "I struggle to see the vision everyone else seems to see. We have some fun, awesome young talent, but is it really enough to be competing anytime in the next 5 years or so? I feel like we are still very short on talent, especially arms, in the rebuild process." So that is what Jackson had to say to us on Twitter. What do you think when you see, because obviously we talk about the vision that we see for this team. What's your vision for this team in the next couple of? I think Gabriel.
Well, I'm going to mostly ignore the lighting of the Gabriel Hughes pick on fire because that was a waste of everybody's time.
Oh my gosh.
But
you know, we still got some. He's still young.
Yeah,
Still,
it's true.
he just had surgery.
There's still a lot of time for him to disappoint.
Oh my gosh! So you think Gabriel Hughes is a bust?
I do. I thought it was bad the moment that it was made because it was a team drafting for an organizational need and not a best player for them. And like, there's a mixture. Like, you have to build when you're building a draft class. Like, this is more true in baseball than any other sport. Like, you build a class. Like, you build like a cache of talent.
And that's like how hockey works too, in a degree, right?
Yeah. And because you're not drafting for today, you're drafting for way tomorrow. Like, tomorrow's tomorrow. And so, like, I understood like the approach to it, but it was such a, for me, it was just such a bad reach with really limited upside of like this. These are not the kinds of guys that they have had trouble finding. What they did this year with Dollander, that's the kind of like power arm with potentially special talent that they just have to take chances on.
Yeah.
So it didn't work with Riley Pint. That sucks.
That does suck.
Like, it sucks for him.
He
It
was
sucks
a
for the
4th
organization.
overall
Like, never find it by playing it safe in that regard. And they played it really safe last year, and then they didn't this year, which was so great to see because it's the exact kind of thing that they don't normally do. And so I loved what they did this year versus last year. And I love that they've taken some chances. This year's class I thought was great because they took chances. They took chances on guys with a variety of like power arms and spin rates, weird deliveries. There's a really wide variety of arms that they brought in. They need like 2 or 3 more years of that because I would agree with that tweet in its general premise of there's just not enough arms in the organization in general. Bullpen arms are, for me, it feels like they're becoming more of a reflection of a team's ability to maximize a player's talent than an organization's ability to find talent. It's more on like a pitching coach because there's a reason that everybody goes to LA and is good. There's a reason everybody goes to Tampa Bay and is good because they maximize what they have. And that's where you need to see a major step forward from the Rockies as an organization is in their ability to maximize guys who have great arms. They just don't know what to do with them. And
I mean, even if you have a great arm in Colorado, you're screwed.
Right. Like it's a tough task, no doubt. But that's really the big question mark. Their ability to get position players has never been a problem. 25 years, it's never been a problem. They've always been able to do it. Their farm system right now is loaded with position players that you have to love. There's guys, I mean, we were talking about Drew Romo earlier off air, but like Drew Romo is a guy that you love. Zach Veen is a guy that you love. Adele Amador is a guy that you love. You know, what Hunter Goodman did in the minors this year, like, hey, he should be in this mix moving forward. There's a lot of talent just hanging around in the organization that I think will play in the big leagues and is reason for a lot of optimism. Nolan Jones, obvious, and Ezekiel Tovar, like the 2 young players that are in the field now that you love. You love the years that they had and how they're going to develop and all that. That's great. But the question is definitely in the arms. Like, where is it? But they've also had horrific injury luck.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, that is just, I mean, every team has their injuries, but you look back on this season of Rockies injuries, and it's just ridiculous. Like, the odds of having 5 pitchers who need Tommy John the same week.
Right.
All linking arms together on the operating table.
Like, the guy just was like, just like one operating room after another. It's all
Do you think it was like an assembly line? Like, he had them on a conveyor belt and like, okay, next.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Next.
That's what the Ford family made it for. It's for Rocky's arms.
Yeah, do you need a hug?
Okay,
Okay,
well,
you
she's
know
not
what? I
going
take
anywhere,
that back.
man.
James, don't placate Yaya. He
You don't get hugs.
He's a hater.
No hugs for haters.
To be fair, like if I had just set up a studio for a show and then the power went out, and I had to also wait like 11 innings for the show to even start, like I'd probably be in a bad mood too.
Yaya's general misery is understandable, but his Taylor Swift specific takes are unacceptable.
I actually don't mind. I really don't care about her at all. It's just no negative nor positive.
Wow.
I just hope she destroys the Chiefs. That's all I care about.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm
okay.
good
Now
with
you're
that.
turning around.
Yeah,
You're turning around
now
here.
we're on your team, man.
It's funnier when you say she destroyed it because people get riled up like you guys for no reason.
Yeah, but it was like
somebody that you guys don't know.
I do know her. I know her because I am her. She is me. I am her. We were one and the same.
Okay. That means I get to hang out with T Swift. That's fine.
Let's go. Rockies, they are going for socializing. This is something we see a lot at the park too.
I'm not on this pod, so can I just be honest here?
Oh my, let it out.
Throw this in the trash, because this is exactly what people said in 2012. This is exactly what people said in 2005. And what happened? Like, each of those eras was followed up with successful playoff bound eras. You know, like, we forget, but the Rockies made the postseason for the only time in their franchise history in consecutive years, like recently.
Yeah.
And were they horribly mismanaged and to the point where now they are a 100-loss team? Yes, absolutely. But both of those things happened.
Yeah.
So the same organization that built the playoff teams is still the same organization that exists today and mismanaged it. But they developed and acquired all of that talent in the first place. It's the same organization. And they've always been able to cobble together competitive teams every handful of years. And everything in baseball is cyclical unless you're the Pittsburgh Pirates. And even then, they had the Andrew McCutchen era where it was pretty good for them. It just didn't end great. But like the Rockies, like this whole like, it's the people's fault for going to the Mumfords aren't going to sell. 7 people could go to every single game and he would not sell the team. He's just not going. He's going down with the ship. He's going to die as the owner of the team.
Look at the Athletics. Perfect example.
Like, I just, and the A's have like a way bigger problem. Like they're constantly fighting with their local government, whatever. Forget the A's. They're irrelevant. It's with this whole thing about the Rockies, like that it's Rockies fans' fault for going to games. No, I hate it. Miss me with that. Denver's a wonderful city, and Coors Field is a wonderful place to go catch a baseball game. It's one of my favorite places in the world that I've gotten to see baseball. Not that I've gotten to see as many as you have, Miss Toured the Country. But I've seen baseball in a lot of different areas in the world, and Coors Field remains my favorite stadium that I've ever gone to. It's an incredible place to catch a baseball game. And I'm not ever going to fault somebody because they hop on Game Time and buy a $9 ticket or something to go have a good night out with their friends.
Yeah.
You know, there are people that joke, oh, it's Denver's best sports bar. Yeah, it's a great joke. It's also true. Who cares? It's a great place to catch a game. And I'm never going to fault people for wanting to do something that's a good time. And the Rockies as an organization, that's a separate entity. Like, they are a separate entity from the entertainment aspect of people want to go do this when none of the other sports teams in Colorado are available.
I see where Brianna was coming from in that tweet, because, I mean, a lot of people see it as, how can you go and financially support a team that isn't successful right now?
I hear you.
But at the same time, like, I love your point in that we're so lucky here in Denver because Coors Field is amazing. It is absolutely one of the best ballparks in the country. I can say that because I have toured all of them. But Coors Field is incredible. It's a great time.
It's just a good experience.
God forbid people like want to have a nice evening.
Yeah, and like I can say, look, people also said this about the Avalanche in 2011 and stuff like that. I was still going to some of those games. Yeah, was it miserable? Yeah. Was there hope for the franchise? Not really. And 10 years later, they win a Stanley Cup. Like, things happen. Sports, this is how sports... I'm not going to fault anybody. I don't fault her for feeling this way, right?
Yeah.
Like, it feels hopeless. It does. It feels hopeless. I feel hopeless about the situation. But that doesn't mean that I'm ever going to be down with, like, oh, don't go to these games. I'm not going to demonize anybody that wants to go and have a good time in Denver, you know, for 4 months. It's the best view in the city that you can have of the sunset. And it's just it's a romantic atmosphere. It's a sport. If you've got some game, then it's real romance. It's just a wonderful place to be. And I don't ever want to fault people for supporting the organization, because that's how organizations stay. That's how organizations continue to make money. That you could be mad at the Munfords for being cheap and this and that, but when they were good, they spent money. And that's just an empirical fact. They spent money. You could be mad that they misspend the money. They definitely do. What did you do with Chris Bryant? But also, you gave Chris Bryant $180 million. There's an owner that's willing to do it. He just doesn't know how to do it. And is that a huge problem? Yes. But the North Star should always be a great experience for Rockies fans. And hopefully someday that means a good baseball team again. And you see, in a season like this, you see the makings of one. You see the bones of a solid team that you can build a baseball club around. And For me, yeah, it wasn't fun to watch 100 losses. Not that I watched 100 of them. Probably watched 50 of them, but
I watched all 103 of them.
like it's not fun to go through that. But you know, the point, the way that sports are, is that they're cyclical, and you have hope that, you know, someday, 2 years from now, you know, 2025, maybe this goes better.
Yeah.
And if you're already out on 20.
How did you find the DNVR Rockies account? Okay, so I love that this comment just came in maybe a couple minutes ago. The depressed Rockies enthusiast on Twitter said that he mentioned Broncos, Nuggets, and CU Buffs and Avs games are all so much more expensive than Rockies games too. So like, yeah, if you want to take your kids to a sporting event, or if you want to take your drunk friends to a sporting event, like this is a reasonable way to do it.
Or to turn your sober friends into drunk friends at a sporting event.
It's so good.
It's a great place.
It's so good. I do want to talk about the attendance numbers because this kind of like fits into it. So the attendance today here for the final game at Coors Field, 33,375. The Rockies drew in this season. They drew 2,607,935 fans this season. So that's more than last season. Last season, they drew a little more than 2.5 million. So attendance is actually up this season. And then Christian in the comments also mentioned, I only went to one game, but there were 45,000 plus fans there for a game against the A's. And I really couldn't understand why. I mean, I will say, I think it's like a couple of reasons why so many fans were there. One, ever since the schedule has been realigned, teams that never play at Coors Field were playing at Coors Field for the first time in a long time. So the A's were one of those teams where we hadn't seen them. And two, we had so many people there, so many A's fans wearing the Sell the Team shirt because they were on that, they were on a tour.
Yeah.
Basically, fans went to all different, A's fans rather, went to so many different stadiums to announce their intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Denver's always been like that. You ask anybody that's been to non-Rockies games at any of the other sports, there are always a lot of out-of-town fans for a lot of the games.
Yes. But I mean, like I will say, it feels worse for Rockies fans, or because one, it's more games, and two, I mean, like we have so many Cubs fans.
Oh, Blackhawks games in Denver have when the Blackhawks come to town, I will not go to them. I've stopped going to them as a fan.
You know what? It's good to know that it's not just us.
Oh no, Chicago's like that everywhere. Everybody hates Chicago.
If Chicago's so great, why'd you move?
Exactly.
This year in the first game of the Broncos season, they packed the stadium.
Yeah, man.
It's disgusting.
There's a ton of Denver's such a gigantic transplant city at this point that there are so many out-of-town fans.
Nuggets Lakers also horrible.
Yeah, I mean Nuggets Warriors, like there's a ton of examples of this because it's a giant transplant population.
Broncos is like the least likely, and it still happens there.
Yeah. Honestly, like there should never be away fans at a Broncos game. I mean, this is Broncos country. Let's ride. Hashtag never an off season. Hashtag every day is John Elway's birthday.
It's a great bit. The every day is John Elway's birthday is my favorite bit.
It's my favorite bit, and I feel like it has like I know it was like really big on Rockies Twitter and like Denver sports Twitter in general. I feel like especially Rockies Twitter because like the whole like there's never an off season for the Broncos. Meanwhile, like the Rockies can't even get attention in season. It's my favorite bit. It kind of came back a little bit yesterday because someone commented on, like we'd posted on Twitter because John Elway was at one of the games. I think he was at the last Dodgers game. So I think he was at the game on Thursday. But someone was like, and on his birthday. And I'm like, yes. And then someone replied and they were like, it's not his birthday. His birthday's June 28th. I'm like, no. His birthday's today. His birthday is today. And his birthday is also today. And when you ask me tomorrow, guess what? John Elway's birthday is also that day. It's every day.
We have this bit for Allie Monroy on the Avs beat too.
Right.
Anybody, she shares a birthday with everybody in this company.
Yep. Anytime we ever say happy birthday to anybody, and also to Allie.
And also to, do you know who shares a birthday with me?
No.
Allie.
Besides Allie. Besides Allie and John Elway, I have Jake Schwanitz. We actually share a birthday.
That's crazy.
And John.
Oh, wait.
What? No,
the
John.
finance guy.
John, like, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. John.
I was going to say, I'm not in the office enough for this.
John's also from Chicago.
Of course he is.
I'm going to get John's son on the podcast because John's son, like, can't read yet, but he's so into baseball, but he'll watch, like, what's happening in a Cubs game in the MLB app. Can't read the words, but he can see what's going on in the strike zone for every pitch, like pitch by pitch by pitch. So, like, can't read, but can follow a Cubs game, not watching the game.
It's crazy. People
like-
from Chicago never develop beyond that.
I'm going to fight all of you, first of all. Like, this is ridiculous.
I didn't say anything.
Ridiculous. Before we close out the show, we should probably talk about the Illegal Pete's queso pen, because that is... So it doesn't taste like queso. After the show and pick up some dinner, I will hit the queso pen beforehand. All the flavors will mesh very well. Have you tried the queso pen yet?
Mm-mm.
It's...
Is the queso feeling particularly insecure that it needs compliments?
Wait, what?
I said, is it feeling insecure that it needs compliments?
What? I don't... What do you mean?
You said it compliments the queso.
It compliments the... Oh, my gosh.
AJ loved that joke. I know AJ's
Oh my gosh. It pairs nicely with queso. If I were a weed sommelier, this is like the one thing that I would recommend to everyone.
There is a thing where they're eventually trying to get it taste like queso.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I'm all for it.
This is what technology does for you. So yeah, this is available at select Denver area dispensaries from September 20th through October 31st. So you have until the end of the month. But Illegal Pete's and Open, they're both old school Denver brands. They decided to collab, finally got the opportunity to. They made this insane cartridge. So the original plan, like they were trying to make a queso flavored edible, and it kind of spiraled into this. But yeah, infused queso is still in the works. That would be crazy if I had like infused queso like on my nachos. Oh, I would die. Like, forget it. We can't kill you.
Please don't die.
We can't kill you. But I would probably like leave this dimension. But yeah, pairs nicely with Illegal Pete's queso. And customers who purchase one of the cartridges can bring the box to any Illegal Pete's location and redeem it for a small chip and queso combo. That's pretty cool.
It's a great
They
deal.
want you to have them together. They want you to. They want you to take the rolls.
It's very wine pairing of them.
Do you know what that line is from?
No.
It's from Boy Meets World.
Oh.
Topanga, I still remember last year's Topanga Avalanche, like, whole Twitter meltdown that I had for like 30 minutes.
Wait, did you see that Topanga threw out a first pitch the other day?
She's still alive.
What the fuck, Yaya?
Yeah, she was on Girl Meets World.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, no, she actually, the whole Boy Meets, or not the whole Boy, but a bunch of the Boy Meets World cast earlier this week, maybe it was a week ago at this point, but Topanga, Danielle Fishel, threw out the first pitch because that show was set in Philly.
She was an entire generation's first crush.
Yeah. How could she not be? She's perfect.
The Topanga phase on the Avalanche last year, and then turned Avs Twitter crazy was insane.
I
That
don't
was a
remember
fun
this.
night.
Was I here yet?
Yeah.
Boy Meets World ruled. It was a great show.
I did watch that.
They want you to take the roles. I like swear that that's like a line from Boy Meets World. And then like they're dressed up as like old men.
The only thing I
don't know, it
remember
just came back to me.
is Eric yelling, "Feeny!"
Phoenix!
Yeah, I hear it in my brain randomly.
Along with Angus and Shanker.
Yes, exactly.
That's just in the loop. And then,
It's just branding.
You probably need to wrap the show up, right? Yeah.
It would help.
It would help. All right, let's wrap it up.
I'm still in preseason, so it's not that big of a deal.
That's true. That's true. Did the Avs show start yet?
No, the
Is the
game's
Avs
not
show
over
going to
yet.
be up here?
Probably.
Probably.
everything's on that.
Oh, it's all back?
Hopefully not up here.
Oh, great.
Oh, boy. What a day we've had. Mercury's not even in retrograde and all of this happened.
Well, have we checked on Venus yet?
Venus isn't in retrograde anymore either. That more affects interpersonal relationships. Mercury retrograde is what affects like technology and communication and stuff like that.
It's like 8:30 in the morning, so like,
Oh my, did you want a medal? Okay, let's wrap it up. AJ, anything you need to plug before we send everyone on their way?
Yeah, follow everybody over at DNVR Rockies. They do a great job.
Thank you. AJ, where can we follow all of this amazing Avs coverage now that the season is just starting to warm up?
You should probably follow Megan Angley. She's our main beat reporter and our person to follow for all of the news. If you follow me, I'm just going to talk about movies and shit. So, but DNVR Avalanche, that's where you should go for any hockey coverage that we have. Which is a lot. We have a lot of it now.
It's a lot of it. Is this going to be a good season for the Avs?
They're going to win the Stanley Cup again. So, yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I want championships like 3 summers in a row. I want that for me.
Yeah, we're going to have dueling parades this year. Yeah. Avs and Nuggets.
I already put some money on it, too.
Yeah,
How
so
much
did I.
money are we talking about? Yeah.
I'm talking about all my free bets from Bet365.
Okay. I mean, it's still money.
$100. It's $100.
Yeah, I was going to say, I put $100 on it too.
Yeah, because I really do believe in it.
Look at us all believers over here. I got to figure out what I'm betting on with my Bet365 winnings.
Well, if you ever want advice on futures bet, don't ask me. I'm really bad at it.
I got really excited for a second.
I mean, I'll give you my thoughts. I just don't know if I'll be right about it.
You know what? You give me your thoughts. I'll do the opposite.
Betting advice is the worst thing because if they lose,
It's your fault.
yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Too
that's
true.
Anyway,
Yeah, finally right about something.
Let's I'm all you know what? We are always right about all of our Rockies takes at DNVR_Rockies. You can follow me at the Suzie Hunter on all platforms. And AJ, you know what Bud Black likes to say about closing out a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you know what Bud Black says about closing out a podcast?
No idea.
He says, fuck it, we ball. Patrick will be back tomorrow at 1. I'll be back Tuesday at 1. This has been fun. Guys, thank you so much for following along this season. It really means a lot to me. It means a lot to Patrick. By proxy, I'm sure it means a lot to AJ.
Means a lot to me.
Maybe the most to AJ. But guys, we appreciate you following along this season. We're going to do it again next season, but we're going to do it all off season 2. I will talk to you guys later this week.